Hey, what's up? Sorry for the clickbait title right away. Sorry, I know that's kind of clickbaity, but I didn't know what else to put other than that. That's why I put "Don't worry" because I didn't want you to, feel like I was trying to pull some shit. I don't do that stuff here. Um, yeah, don't worry. I'm not like closing my channel down or anything. We just have some stuff to talk about. So I'm going to talk about that later in the video. This is going to be probably a bit of a longer video for me. My hair is being weird. Probably a little bit of a longer one, so do what you will with that. Skip ahead if you just want to hear. First, I'm going to do a couple things, then I'm going to talk about some stuff. So skip ahead if you want to hear that stuff. Grab a drink because, like I said, it's probably going to be a longer one. I have some blue liquid. I'm drinking antifreeze today. Really high quality, vintage reserve antifreeze. Okay, so first let's talk about Choo Man Blue, which I tried yesterday. Did a first impression of that. I said at the top that it was it was generic. It did smell like a lot of things, and that's kind of be a little bit of what I'm going to talk about later. But it did not smell bad per se. It wasn't like really bad. But that vanilla note started to pick through a little bit more, and I started to get maybe like a resinous kind of green note. I found it to be more green than blue. I mean, people had said it's not very blue, but I found it to be a bit green. Yeah, it started to get that menthol-y vibe that I sometimes like, but with the vanilla, it actually kind of became a bit nauseating as it went out. Excuse me, to the point where I would say like an hour, 40 minutes or so after the video, I almost thought I was going to have to scrub it off. It really didn't like it. It was becoming pretty gross to my nose, honestly. Not pleasant for me. You might like it. But then, about an hour and a half later, an hour later or so, really, pretty quickly it changed into this dry down that people talk about. And again, wasn't blown away by this cologne at all. I wasn't blown away by the dry down, but it was a nice dry down, as people have said. I got a lot of wood. I got the vanilla. It was a nice wood smell. It was sandalwood. That was my cat opening the door by himself. What's up? Hi. Yeah, it was a nice wood. I maybe got some vetiver. Yeah, it was good. Nice vanilla. And perhaps even a tiny bit of lavender. So I liked the dry down. It was pretty nice. It was very warm, kind of like almost like a cuddle up scent, I've called them sometimes. Not gourmand, like just nice and warm and inviting. So I liked the dry down, and that's where it stayed for most of the cologne. Projection-wise, it wasn't, I don't think, super strong. It definitely gave me a little scent bubble at the beginning, but I would say it was probably a skin scent for me for most of the scent. Longevity was fantastic. I think it lasted about 8 hours. Hi, I'm doing a video, dude. I think that it probably actually lasted 9 hours, but it was so faint by the end, I don't know if I would count that last bit. That's kind of a shame because colognes don't really work that well on my skin. I mean, they don't last that long for me, most of them. This one lasted a very long time, which I said is a shame because it's not one I'm ever going to really buy. So that's Choo Man Blue. It was fine. Don't like that opening the first hour, and I don't think I would really, I mean, if I got a sample of it, I might wear it just for that dry down, but it's not one I'm ever going to pick up. And then second thing I wanted to do was, I'm not really going to go in depth with this. I wanted to point it out. I was going to do a video for you guys today talking about Vince Camuto, I don't know how to pronounce it, Virtue, which I just have a sample of. This one came out last year, and I sprayed it, and I was going to do a review or a first impressions or something, but it smells very, very similar to Bulgari Man Wood Essence, like very close. So I'm gonna spray these two and do a little comparison right here, which I thought would be fun. This isn't gonna be like a big, huge, like in-depth comparison. I just thought, let's see what we think. This one, I will say, did smell like this one has cardamom at the top and stuff like that, and this one has like kind of sweet citruses. This, from what I'm remembering, this definitely smells a lot sweeter. It's not super sweet. It just had like a nice kind of slightly sweet spicy vibe at the top, where this one didn't. They both smelled very similar. This one also, I'm pretty sure, had better projection. So, Vincent Camuto on this hand, and the Bulgari Man Wood Essence on this hand. Okay, so off the top, they do actually smell different. This one, but they do smell very similar in the dry down. Sounds weird, but they smell like a lot. I had actually mentioned with Bulgari Man that this smells kind of like pencil shavings and lotion, like a woody kind of lotion, which sounds really weird, but you get like a sawdust kind of smell, like a sandalwood sawdust, which isn't bad. It smelled fine. The lotion smell is more like a creaminess. If you could imagine, like, not soap, but like a creaminess without a lot of sweetness, which is a lot of the kind of smell that I got with this. Now, off the top, this one is much sweeter. I don't actually remember it being that sweet, but you're getting, like, kind of much more perfumey sweet, kind of citrus kind of fruits. There's, like, sugar lemon or sugar orange at the top of this, whatever that is. And this one, you're just getting a little bit of cardamom, which is not overly sweet and just helps it be a little bit spicy. So I guess I was wrong with that, but this one goes into that kind of wood smell a lot quicker. And the two of these, again, I'm not blown away by them. They're not colognes I'm going to go out and buy bottles of. But because they're more wood scents, that's more for me. I really like wood-based scents and things like that. So a lot of these designer colognes I've tried recently, these two I like a little bit more. Although I'm going to say, I actually think I might like this opening a little bit more. It does have like a kind of a candy sweetness that you, like some people said, even like an Invictus thing. And I don't really like Invictus. But that opening kind of candy-like sweetness almost does remind me of Invictus. Sipping my antifreeze there. So, I don't know. I didn't really have anything planned. I'm just, riffing basically. But when these dry down, they do smell similar to me. Now, maybe not to you, but to me, the wood smell that you get on this dry down for both of these is very similar. Bit of a sweeter opening. Pretty much goes straight into woods. I do like both. They're fine. I like them both. This one has better projection on me. This one, even if I were to put my sleeve down, I could still smell it. I don't know if it's like atomic projection. It's not anything that's going to last a super long time. It's not a beast mode fragrance, but I can definitely smell it with my sleeve down emanating. Whereas this one, even though it's a bit brighter at the beginning, I don't get that as much. So I got to wash my hands now at some point. Okay, so that was that. I thought that'd be fun. It was just whatever. Okay, now we got to talk about like what the future of this channel basically. And like I said, don't worry, I'm not quitting or closing this down. I just think I need to. I think I'm going to change things up. I'm not sure. So I've had all these samples. I haven't really bought any new cologne really in the past couple months, just because there's things I would love to try, but it's very expensive. So I don't really have the disposable income to go out and purchase all these new fragrances or anything. I guess I could get decants and things, but the way that I am, I just thought, okay, well, I have 16 fragrances at home in the sample form. I feel like I really don't need to go out and get any more. That's a lot to choose from, even if I'm not going to like them all. But I only have 2 more of these samples to do for you. It's Burberry Brit Rhythm, and Burberry Brit Splash, the flankers of that. Which, I don't know. That's it, though. Those are the only 2 remaining. And after that, I don't have any more fragrances that are new. And this is kind of where when I smelled K a couple days ago, and sorry if you like K, but I thought it was so disappointing and so bad for a $100 release from a very popular designer house. It just really left a sour taste in my mouth. I didn't spray the cologne in my mouth. You'd then be like, Harry, you're doing it wrong. You're not supposed to do that. I get it. We could go into a discussion about like how, yeah, that's like what modern companies do these days. They put out bullshit flankers and like, tired releases to make a quick buck. I get it, but it really got under my skin for some reason. I know it's scented water. I shouldn't be this upset by it. I'm not like, I'm not losing sleep at night. It's something I've been thinking about. It was just a very telling release for me of like the designer community, and I don't know. I'm just like I okay. So I'm ranting, but I found a couple channels, particularly this channel called Ike Does Life. He's a really good cologne channel. He doesn't always do cologne reviews. He does some other stuff, but he's very candid and funny. And he said he's like, I don't really review colognes over $30 anymore on this channel, because it's just like you just can get stuff for him. He's like, I can just get stuff cheaper than that smells good. And it kind of, I'm like, yeah, I really agree with that. Like, you can get decants and everything, which is a good way to go, but like, you can get full bottles of cologne that just, to me, smell fine. Everybody's different. Some people can't do that. Some people are really critical, and you know, like if there's a clone that's 85-90% of the way there to the original, it's not good enough for them. They need to spend that extra $70 on to get the original, or they have to do niche fragrances. They want to smell like, you know, like something weird, but you know, want to spend all that money. That's fine. But for me, it really struck a chord with me. No pun intended, because I'm a guitar player. But yeah, I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know about. It's like there's going to be designer releases that I want to smell. There are some that I want to smell right now. I'll probably be going to Macy's soonish, and you know, smelling all the new releases and stuff. So it's not like I don't want to smell them, but like, I'm not interested in really buying them. I kind of think it's bullshit in a way. A lot of these fragrances, it's like, and I get it. I get how the industry works. Like, I like video games. They come out, they're $60. They're too much. So I wait a couple months and then they're $20. A lot that happens with fragrances. They come out, they're super expensive. They go down sometimes. Sometimes they don't, though. Sometimes they stay expensive. So I learned about Belkin fragrances, which is kind of a clone it is a clone company, and they have their own website where you can buy stuff, but they do it in Walmart. They put their stuff in Walmart, and this is super hypocritical of me, and I admit that, but I've walked past the Belkin fragrances at Walmart many times and kind of looked at them and saw that they were clones and kind of like scoffed almost at them, like, oh, those probably are just shit. They're probably terrible. Which for me, I consider this kind of like a budget channel. I was like, why have I done that? You know, and somebody said, oh, no, some of them are good. And then I went down the rabbit hole and watched a ton of reviews on them, read a lot of reviews. And some of my friends on here and people that I watch that I really trust and watch a lot of videos of did reviews for some and said, no, some of these are really good. And, you know, I'm not super picky with my colognes. I'm the kind of guy where it doesn't need to be 100%. Like, I've reviewed Ventana. It's a clone of Sauvage. It's like 90% of the way there. It's very, very close, but it's not identical. I don't care. That's fine for me. You know, I enjoy Sauvage, but this bottle is $20. It's going to be fine for me. So these colognes some of them are a hit or a miss. Like people said, they're not all fantastic. They're not all amazing. Some of them are just not close to what they're trying to do, but a lot of them are pretty close to the originals. And in some cases, I saw a number of people, specifically their Cool Water clone, they said it might even be better in some ways. It might project better, it might last longer. And dude, these are like $8 colognes. $5, $6, $7, $8 colognes. That's crazy. Like their Sauvage clone, which I've heard is 85-90% close. For me, close enough. It's like $8 for a 3.4 ounce bottle. I'm like, I'm gonna have to try those. I'm feeling like I don't know if I'm explaining myself well. I'm just feeling different. I'm feeling it's weird because I'm becoming more interested now than I ever was in this hobby. I'm becoming much more enthusiastic about colognes, yet I'm becoming much more frustrated with designer houses. Okay, so I know it's a kind of a weird contrast, but I don't know. So I think I want to get more into the cheap stuff. Like, I've always said I like it. I've tried really cheap stuff, like Cuba Gold is great, $5. But I think I want to like focus more going forward on that That might change. I'm not saying I'm never going to review designer fragrances. I'm not even saying I'm never going to review a niche fragrance on here. I just think going forward for the future, for the next next iteration of this channel, if you will, I think I'm going to focus on the cheap stuff. You might not like that. I don't know if you use this as your news source for new releases, whatever. I'm normally pretty late to the party, but that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be focusing on the cheap stuff. So if you've tried these Belkin fragrances, let me know. If you have any releases that are cheap, just good cheap clones, that's what I think I want to focus on. I think that's what, for me, I need to do. And these are fragrances where I can go and spend $20, $20, $30, and get a couple of them, and they're going to last me literally years. They have a lot that I'd like to try, so that's what I'm doing. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts. I know I'm just ranting, but this is kind of important to me that you guys see this video. I know it's a long one, but it's important to me that you see this and you're aware of that. I appreciate everybody watching. I have 130 subscribers now or something, so that's cool for me. So I'm not done with this channel, absolutely not. In fact, I'd like to ramp up and get some of these fragrances. I'm just letting you know that I don't have disposable funds to go out and buy big $30, $40, $50, $60, $70 releases. And I don't know, I'm just going to focus on this stuff. If you'd like, I don't want to ask, like, don't send me stuff, you know. If you want to, then that's fine, but I'm not ever really, like, looking for handouts or anything. But anyways, that's all. I really appreciate you watching. And I hope you have fun here. At least I hope, like, we have a good time. And, you know. All right. Have a good day. Smell good.